Hello and welcome to the Squared Circle Psychobabble. My name is Michael Valenti for unbiased conversations in AEW, WWE, NXT, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. It's another Wednesday in the books, folks. AEW Dynamite and NXT on the USA Network, both having some pretty good shows that we're going to talk about. And of course, we got to talk about the ratings. But before we get to all that, I'd like to thank our sponsor for this show, Manscaped.com, where you can get the Lawnmower 2.0 trimmer. This thing is quiet. This thing is going to make things smooth no matter where you're going to shave. I mean, you could use it in your face. Probably not the best idea, as this is more for below the shoulders and below the waist. It's quiet, TSA friendly, and you can get it for 20% off right now by using the promo code SCP20. Use the link in the description or in the pinned comment. That's manscaped.com. But now we got that out of the way, let's talk about the ratings, folks. And they're interesting. Total viewership was a tie. That's right. 778,000 viewers watched AEW Dynamite and 778,000 viewers watched NXT on the USA Network last night. This is something I don't think that's ever happened when it came to the Monday Night Wars, where there was a dead tie in the total viewership. Honestly, this just goes to show you that there is a choice on Wednesday nights. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to watch AEW Dynamite, if you want to watch NXT, watch them. You know, the power of the DVR is there, folks. So you can watch one, record the other, and then watch it back to back. Or you could stream one, watch the other, you know, and this is obviously showing in the numbers, because this doesn't show the total DVR numbers. This doesn't show the streaming numbers. This is just people that were watching live on cable television. So, you know, the fact that there's an even amount of people watching both shows, this just means that both shows are going to do whatever it takes to make sure that you, the viewer, are watching the best show, whether you think that's AEW Dynamite or NXT on the USA Network. And you know what? I'll leave it up to you right now. Vote in the poll above my head. Which show you thought was better between AEW Dynamite and NXT on the USA Network? But let's talk about the individual shows themselves. We'll talk with AEW Dynamite on TNT. We start off with Jon Moxley having a very, very quick match here with Alex Reynolds. It's over in seconds. In fact, the graphic for Jon Moxley, when they show his name, the interesting fact about him above his name was that he has the quickest match in AEW history, which was like 1 minute and 3 seconds or something like that. Quick paradigm shift. Match is over. I mean, very fast match. Afterwards, though, Chris Jericho comes out with the entire Inner Circle. Inner Circle surrounds the ring, but Jericho walks in, grabs a mic, and you know what? He talks to Moxley. He talks about their past in WWE without actually saying what WWE was or what their history was. There were a couple hints in there, but I still like how this worked. Gives him an Inner Circle t-shirt and invites Jon Moxley to join the Inner Circle. What I love about this segment is that Moxley is silent the entire time, and he's looking into the camera a couple times with this, like, is he kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, he wants me in the Inner Circle look. I loved it. And the camera got a really good zoom in on that face. I mean, a lot of people I've seen on YouTube already using that as a thumbnail for their AEW Dynamite review. So good first segment to start off the show. After that, we have a tag team match that was already promoted throughout the week. The Butcher and the Blade in their AEW debut going up against Cody Rhodes and the appointed partner of QT Marshall. I had to watch this match again. I thought this was a really good match. I mean, I understand the match was intended to showcase the Butcher and the Blade, but I think instead we got QT Marshall shining, and there's nothing wrong with that, because I really liked the Butcher and the Blade in this match, and I like the incorporation of the bunny from the outside on a couple occasions throughout this match on both QT Marshall and Cody Rhodes. I'm excited to see the Butcher and the Blade going forward in the tag team division. I think they need more heelish tag teams like the Butcher and the Blade. Yes, we have the Dark Order, but we haven't really seen them in the ring recently. So the Butcher and the Blade is a nice breath of fresh air here. But like I said, QT Marshall really shined in this match, doing some high flying cruiserweight stuff that a guy that when you look at him, you don't necessarily see a guy doing topes over the top rope and corkscrew sentons. He looked really good and the crowd was eating him up. And, QT Marshall even went onto Twitter saying that was the best night of his professional career. And, props to him. This was a guy that was out of wrestling due to injury and doing stuff like that. So very impressive there. Love the match. And again, looking forward to Butcher and the Blade going forward in AEW. After the match, though, we did get Darby Allin coming out and extending his hand to Cody Rhodes, who was sitting outside after the loss. Allin actually even went on to Twitter after the show saying that since he and Cody have their past where it went to the time limit draw, he wants to team with Cody against Butcher and the Blade. And if they win, he wants that rematch with Cody. So I'm all for this. Let's see that tag team match. Let's see a rematch between Darby Allin and Cody. That was the match of the night at Fyter Fest, in my opinion. So I love this whole segment. So far, so good for this show. Next up, we have, I think, maybe the segment of the night, and that is MJF's promo. MJF first comes out. He calls out one of the grips into the ring saying, hey, when Cody said that line about the crossroads, I saw you smiling. Then he gives him a crossroads. And after that, MJF just rips on Cody, rips on his lisp, rips on the fans a couple times. The guy just knows how to get heat. And that's why MJF, he needs to get into the ring more and see him actually wrestle. But on the mic, he is arguably the best heel in wrestling when it comes to, a promo. And it shows right here. He says that he will have a one-on-one match with Cody Rhodes, but he has some stipulations, but he won't reveal those until after the January 1st show in Jacksonville. So I'm excited to see that and see how this story progresses. Does this end up on the AEW Revolution pay-per-view that was announced on this show? Does it happen before then? Only time will tell, but you got two of the best promos in AEW right now in a storyline. That just means that people are going to eat it up. And I think, this just means that it's going to be a big money match down the line. After that, coming out of commercial, we have the Dark Order with a new video package here. This time, Alex Reynolds, one of the jobber tag teams, is in his hotel room watching one of those hotel promo videos. And the host of the promo videos is the same guy that's in the Dark Order videos. And he's basically recruiting Alex Reynolds through the television. And I like this. I really like where this is going, kind of recruiting the jobbers of AEW. I know we got a little bit of a hit in being the elite with Brandon Cutler and Michael Nakazawa and someone pulling one of the phone numbers off the flyer. Who could that be? I don't know. Could it be Hangman Page? Could it be, anybody that is losing a lot in All Elite Wrestling? Maybe it's, it could be Jungle Boy. He's 0-8, but I like where this is going. And the Dark Order, this whole cult thing, I'm really liking it. And I like these video packages. So yeah, this is just good stuff. And it's only going to get better when they start getting some recruits and build more of a story behind this. But I just wish they started this sooner with the Dark Order. Really do. After a really strong start here to the show where I have a lot of good praise, here's where things start to slow down a little bit. Big Swole comes out in a match against Emi Sakura. I like Big Swole. I like Emi Sakura. Big Swole looked good in this match. I'm a big Queen fan, so I do like the Emi Sakura homage to Freddie Mercury. I do like when she's doing submissions, she's singing Freddie Mercury lines. Just for some reason, this match, I just couldn't click with this match. It just wasn't, it was good, but it just wasn't like, oh my God, what a great match. It went a little too long. And I understand they're trying to showcase Big Swole here, and they did. She looked good. It was just that the match itself was just, it was probably the most skippable moment of the show. After that, we have another tag team match here. This time it's Kenny Omega and Hangman Page against Shawn Spears and Kip Sabian. Shawn Spears coming out without Tully Blanchard. He looks back. He's like, where's Tully? And then approaches the ring. I thought this was a very good match. And the really big thing that I took out of this was that Kenny was super over. Like, this was probably the most over he's been with an AEW crowd since it started back in freaking May with Double or Nothing. Anything that he was doing, the crowd was just eating it up, chanting Kenny Omega. You know, he looked really good in this match as well. I do like how Hangman Page stole the win from Kenny Omega here. Hangman Page on the outside for the majority of this match. Kenny doing a lot of offense on Kip Sabian. But then blind tag on Hangman Page into the buckshot lariat. He gets the pin. Kenny's got this perplexed look like, really? Why are you doing this? But hey, a win's a win. So I'm okay with that. The only thing that I had up, and the other thing too, I do like Penelope Ford, her interaction with this, getting involved with her Hurricanrana and getting involved in Kenny Omega, interrupting his Rise of the Terminator. She looked good. The only thing I didn't like about this was there was obviously when Hangman Page was outside for a majority of this match, Shawn Spears is out in the corner reaching for a tag. Like, to me, it was a role reversal where, you know, it's like Spears was hanging on to the apron, reaching for a tag like it was the hot tag. And it's like, you're the heel. Why don't you gang up on Kenny Omega? And yes, the referee can get involved and try to get you out. And then Penelope Ford can still get involved. Like, I just didn't think there was that involved. And yes, I understand Kip Sabian and Shawn Spears, they're not really a tag team. They were kind of thrown together. So I understand that dynamic. And then after all this, where they could have had this would have made the moment where Joey Janela appears after the lights go out with Tully Blanchard tied up. That would have made that moment even better because it could have created a bigger pop, I think. That's just me personally, but overall, I thought this was a good match. It could have been even better had there been more heat drawn on from Kip Sabian and Shawn Spears, and then when Joey Janela comes in with Tully. But after that, we have Luchasaurus and Sammy Guevara. These two guys, I like both of them. I really do. I like Luchasaurus. I like Sammy Guevara. To me, I felt like the chemistry just wasn't there. There were a couple of botches in this match. The flip over the top rope onto Luchasaurus from Sammy Guevara. It looked like Luchasaurus moved out of the way and it only hit his arm. The shooting star pressed into the choke slam. I think this was more of the camera angle kind of exposing this spot a little was part of the problem, but it looked like they were just a little off the mark. Either way, Luchasaurus, they both had their shine in this match. Luchasaurus looked good with his kicks, high flying spots from Sammy Guevara. Luchasaurus gets the win. And I do like the aftermatch segment here where Hager and Jericho come in and attack Luchasaurus. Jericho and Hager were on commentary for this segment of the show. And, you know, they come out, they attack Luchasaurus. Then Jungle Boy and Marco Stunt come in for the save. They're all fighting. Luchasaurus and Hager dump to the outside and they're out of there. But then Jungle Boy gives a Hurricanrana to Jericho, gets him on a pin, and Marco Stunt counts him 1, 2, 3. So obviously help that story for the match that's happening next week. The 10-minute time limit, non-title match between Jungle Boy and Jericho, you know, pushing that, you know, Jungle Boy can, in fact, go 10 minutes with Jericho. So, you know what? I like this. I like the segment. I think this really gives Jungle Boy some credibility. Hey, he could, you know, have a quick pin here on Jericho. So, you know what? We know this is probably going to go the 10 minutes. It's just a matter of, can Jungle Boy actually pull out the upset, or does Jericho win, or does it go to a time limit draw? I mean, it's 10 minutes, so we'll see where that goes. We get a video package from Brandy Rhodes talking about the Nightmare Collective again. Good video package. And of course, we're talking about the bald guy. Who is it exactly? I don't know. Some people are saying it could be Gangrel. Some people are saying it could be Vampiro. Ryan Satin is saying it's somebody that wrestles, I believe, in Canada. Who knows? Gets me more interested when I don't know everything. I want to know more. And this obviously lets you know more. Main event of the night, Young Bucks versus Proud and Powerful. In a Texas street fight, I thought this was a really good match. Very good match. I love how it started where the Young Bucks are coming out for their entrance, and all of a sudden Proud and Powerful attack them. Before we even get into the ring, we have a table spot. We have a jump off the entrance tunnel, baseball bags, everything so far. And that was just the first 5 or 10 minutes before they even get into the ring. We get more table spots, chair spots. There was even a ref spot in this match. And I think this is the first time a ref was knocked out during a match. And Aubrey Edwards got a huge pop when she came into this match, even got an Aubrey chant. And I don't know if you noticed this when you're watching, but I think when the Aubrey chant started, Matt Jackson was actually smiling. Had to stop the spot that they were about to do to get that. So I thought that was good. The only thing, there were a couple spots in this match where you could kind of tell it was choreographed. Both when Nick Jackson got kicked off the apron into the table and when Santana flipped into the table after he got hit. Both those, you could kind of tell they were a little choreographed and exaggerated. And the one that I think a lot of people are talking about on social media is the spot where Ortiz gets the chair kicked into his head, where he's just kind of on all fours without anybody holding him up while Matt Jackson's holding the chair. That there, it's like you're waiting 20 seconds to get kicked in the face. And why don't you just get up and get out of the way? I don't know. That to me looked a little, fugazi, a little choreographed there. But overall, I thought AEW Dynamite was a good show. I thought it was better than last week. I'd probably give it an 8.5 out of 10. So let me know in the comments what you think of AEW Dynamite on a scale of 1 to 10. But let's move on to NXT. We get the video package kind of recapping what's going on, but it gets interrupted by Adam Cole, who's in the control room talking about the main event that will happen later in the evening between Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, and Finn Balor, saying that it is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. 3 men who've done nothing to go after his title. He just hopes that they all destroy each other, and eventually they're just going to be punching their ticket to lose next week. Good promo to start the show. Good way to promote later on the main event there. So, and of course, Adam Cole will be at ringside for the main event. We get another opening match between Angel Garza and Lio Rush for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. And I thought this match was incredible. Incredible. It had storytelling. It had awesome reversals. And I honestly loved the finish where Lio Rush kicked out of the wing clipper. Garza then quickly goes into a reverse full Nelson, taps out Lio Rush, and Angel Garza wins the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. I am liking Angel Garza more and more and more as I see him on NXT. I like his character. I like his in-ring work. Lio Rush, same thing. I like his character. I like his in-ring work. These guys can wrestle 20 times, and I don't think I can get sick of it. These guys are just really, really good. And this is coming from a guy who doesn't really like cruiserweight wrestling, but this one was just good. This was just a good match. And this one was even better than their last match that we saw a few weeks ago. So no problem with that. Right before the commercial, we get Finn Balor's video package. Out of the commercial, we get Angel Garza proposing to his girlfriend. So he wins twice tonight. First with the NXT Cruiserweight Championship and then proposing to his girlfriend. So congratulations on a huge night for Angel Garza. And then even on Twitter, he got not 1, but 2 point pictures with Papa H himself. So very cool night for Angel Garza. After that, Raul Mendoza versus Cameron Grimes. Raul Mendoza picks up the victory here. I'm going to be honest. This should have been a match where Cameron Grimes was on a lot of offense, but Mendoza got a lot of the offense in this match. And the end of this match where Kushida comes out to distract Cameron Grimes, I don't really think he did enough to really distract him, Cameron Grimes, in this match. It just seemed like Raul Mendoza just actually beat Cameron Grimes. This one could have been executed a little bit better. I do like how at the end, though, Kushida slowly goes up the stairs, steals the hat, and walks away. I do like that. After that match, though, Mia Yim has an interview with Catherine Kelly, basically saying that tonight her match with Dakota Kai will not be a wrestling match. It will be a fight. Like the interview. I like the promo here. Mia Yim, awesome job here. We get a video package from Travis Banks, who's coming from NXT UK, has a match with Jackson Riker. And this is my first match with Jackson Riker on NXT. I don't know if this is the first match he's actually been on NXT. This is just my first match of him in a match, watching him. And I just thought they should have showcased him squashing Banks. I mean, with the size difference, it make him look like a unstoppable heel. And it looked like that's where they were going at first. But, the tide turned with a couple reversals from Banks. He picks up the win. And obviously this is promoting the whole Worlds Collide that's happening the night before the Royal Rumble. Ono lost last week to Matt Riddle, so this evens things out. We get that 50-50 booking of NXT UK and NXT. So I understand why they're going with it. I just wish that Riker looked a little stronger in this case. He looked good. He could have looked even better. Mia Yim versus Dakota Kai is next. I thought this was a good match with Dakota Kai winning, but afterwards, Mia Yim, they go to the outside, attacks her. They go to the production area of Full Sail, and there's two tables propped up. Mia Yim suplexes Dakota Kai through one of the tables. The other one hit her in the head. Dakota Kai ends up, her head hits the floor, and I believe she got 8 stitches. At least that's what she said on Twitter. She got 8 stitches from the fall. You could tell she was hurt too, because she, they were trying to hide her off camera, but when they had her on camera, you could kind of tell her hand was over her face while talking to a referee. They were obviously seeking attention for her. I do like this spot. I just wish they executed a little bit safer, something like that. It's not exactly a safe thing to do to begin with. So that's the risk you take when you take those spots and, being a professional wrestler. So hopefully Dakota Kai is okay. Just the stitches is the only issue. There's no concussions. I know she has a injury history with her knees. Let's not add the head injuries on top of that. After that, we get a one-sided victory from Breezango against the Singh brothers. I didn't even know the Singh brothers were in NXT, but I guess as more of the 205 Live roster moves into NXT, as they slowly dissolve that brand on the WWE network, I guess, we'll see the Singh brothers more. And Breezango looked good. So Breezango wins. After that, we get another one-sided match where Bianca Belair beats Kaden Carter. Bianca Belair, I think this is the first time she's been on NXT since War Games. And she looked good, obviously showing her power. Kaden Carter got a little bit of offense here, but back-to-back squash matches here, I don't think was the best way to go, but I understand, you only have 2 hours, so you got to fill them somehow. Then we get to our main event. Adam Cole's at ringside for Tommaso Ciampa versus Keith Lee versus Finn Balor. Winner faces Adam Cole next week for the NXT Championship. I thought this match was really good. Really good. There were some great moves in this match. There was a moment right before it went into commercial where Ciampa and Balor were suplexing Keith Lee off the top rope. And just as they were going to make the impact onto the ring, they cut to the commercial with the picture-in-picture, so you didn't even hear the impact or the crowd reaction. That was so annoying. Oh, I was so frustrated that we didn't get that impact. But we did get a similar spot afterwards that the picture-in-picture commercial did not interfere with, and that's when Keith Lee had Tommaso Ciampa on his shoulders, doing the air raid attack on Finn Balor, and all three of them fall on their back. I thought that was a pretty cool move. I mean, Keith Lee is becoming the star of NXT. I know a lot of people want to call Johnny Gargano the star of NXT or Adam Cole the star of NXT, but right now, since about the second week in November, Keith Lee has really taken that spot away. And I wish that Keith Lee won this and we got that match between Cole and Keith Lee, but maybe they have bigger and better things for Keith Lee. So, you know what? Let Finn Balor get the win here. And it was a cool finish. Spirit Bomb onto Ciampa. And then out of nowhere, Finn Balor does the coup de grace on Keith Lee for the pin. So we got Finn Balor versus Adam Cole next week for the NXT Championship. You want to save the Ciampa Championship match? You want to save Keith Lee's Championship match for a bigger event, whether that's the Royal Rumble, if they have an NXT Championship match there, WrestleMania, which, the rumor, according to WrestleVotes, that's happening. You might want to have those matches at those pay-per-views instead of, a match on the NXT and USA. Not saying that Balor isn't a big match. It definitely is. But out of those three, you might want to hold off with Ciampa and Keith Lee. Heck, if it were me, let's just keep going here. And you know what? Maybe the payoff is a fatal four-way between these four: Ciampa, Cole, Balor, and Keith Lee. Why not? Overall, I thought this show, I think there was a little bit of fluff in between. Good start, good end, little fluff in the middle. So I would give this one probably a 6.5, 7 out of 10. Both shows were very good. I think AEW just had the better matches. Big Swole versus Emmy wasn't that good. Luchasaurus and Sammy Guevara could have been better with their lack of chemistry wasn't quite there. But I think both shows delivered. I think both shows have stuff you could talk about. And I'm excited to watch both shows next week. So let me know in the comments below what you thought of AEW Dynamite and NXT on the USA Network. Don't forget to share this all over social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at SCPB Podcast. And again, manscaped.com, 20% off with the promo code SCP20. And for the best unbiased conversations in AEW, WWE, NXT, and New Japan Pro Wrestling, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. My name is Michael Valenti, and thank you for watching the Squared Circle Psychobabble.